Kalen DeBoer got the job for Washington, and that's where I grew up. And when he got the job, I must have had 15 texts from friends. They're like, in the industry, you have no idea how good of a coach you got. You have no idea. Well, 13-game winning streak, 11-0 at home now under Kalen DeBoer, 6-0 this year, 17-2 overall, second winningest coach behind Kirby Smart. And he's a humble guy, so he's probably rolling his eyes at all this as I brag about him. Kalen DeBoer joins us. So when you were down, Indiana, Fresno State, so I want to talk about your quarterback, Michael Penix, who you had history with. So he's got an interesting story. He had ACL injuries. He got hurt. A lot of people forget about him. You go out and you say, come to Washington. This is going to work. But even you have to be a little surprised, a little, coach. He is magnificent. I'd vote him for the Heisman today. I saw him in person. I loved him. He's better in person. His story's amazing. Are you shocked at his ability with those injuries to be who he is today?
Well, I know that Michael will be the first to say he's got some help around him, but when it was 2019 and I got a chance to work with him the first time, man, I just saw that the sky was the limit with this guy, and he'll stand in there and make the throws, and the offensive line does a great job of keeping a pocket clean for him for the most part, but he's got all the arm talent in the world, can throw it down the field, can throw it from one hash to the opposite sideline on a line. His accuracy is amazing. And then just, his resiliency, and just everything he's been through, I think comes out each and every Saturday in the situations we're put in, and just, his ability to fight through it and take the team, put them on his shoulders. And, Saturday was a great, a great example of all of that.
Well, your receiving core was missing your number 2, so it was Romadunze and Polk. And if Polk's your 3, this is the best receiving core in the country because Oregon couldn't cover him, and Oregon's got really good corners. I had somebody in the NFL said, man, Washington's running a pro offense. And I think about all the transfers in the world now, and you're dealing with 20-year-old kids. It's a very efficient, sophisticated offense as a consumer. And yet you're highly efficient. How do you get young kids all this mobility? I don't see a lot of penalties. I see efficiency. You play up tempo. What's the secret sauce to this offense?
Yeah, I mean, we have our base system, and it has the ability to be flexible and adjust to whoever our personnel are. And we've built it over many years. I mean, maybe even 15 years, 20 years of doing this. And got a great staff, Ryan Grubb, our offensive coordinator, along with the offensive staff that really gel and mix together. And, there's no egos. It's all about just doing what we think is best for our kids. But the system is there. And then each and every year, you just kind of go on the tangents based on, who the players are that you need to get the ball to. And it's the same calls that we made many years ago. It's just the window dressing and keeping it simple for our guys to be able to play quick and trying to make it complicated for what you're seeing from the opposite side.
What was your message to your team before these players' biggest game of their life?
Just trust and believe in the preparation they've put in, and take all the, during the week, you're just taking in all the experiences that we've been through together, and just stay the course, and understand that the game is going to come down to these momentum swings. And the quicker you get the momentum back on our side, the best chance you have to win, and you have to tip your hat to a team like Oregon. We know that they're extremely talented, good football team. And so it's just a matter of, believing and fighting until the very end. And that's what it took.
You're at a small school, Sioux Falls. You're a 3-time NAIA Coach of the Year. Win big. And you go to Fresno State. Bigger school, win big. Now it's Washington. The games are bigger. You're moving to the Big Ten. As a coach, take me inside that. Sioux Falls, Fresno, Washington. I'm in that stadium, and that feels like the biggest place in the world. Do even you, sometimes, was there a goosebump moments? You win that game, the place explodes. We're just fans. What was it like for you personally?
It was really special, and I think it's just a matter of the satisfaction that you have of just bringing everything together. First of all, starting with our players, but then just having the community support we have and the alumni that, have done so much for this program and being able to bring it back to what the standard is for, UW football. But when you're just doing it and really, there's no one that's more competitive than us internally. And so, it matters no matter where we've been, the small schools or the big school. When you're doing it for the kids and you're doing it to help them have these great experiences, and then it happens, you just really want to just sit back there and watch them enjoy the moment and appreciate the journey that we're on.
Big Ten football, you now move to it. Will it change recruiting stylistically? Is it different? Weather's colder, but you playing, you're coaching Seattle. I grew up there, plenty of wind and rain. It gets cold. But will you change things a little bit about your program? Will you tweak it with the pivot to the Big Ten?
Yeah, having grown up there and lived in the Midwest but really the last, 6 or 8 years, and so understand, what those days in November and December look like. But I think really what we do fits, anywhere. There is a lot of times where the ball's in the air and, it still comes down to playing physical. And we showed we can do that, even this last weekend. And, defensively, we'll be stout and have what it takes to win those games. But recruiting wise, I think, what Washington, our home base is still the entire West Coast. But we do have a staff that is built for, the Big Ten, with a lot of us being from out in the Midwest and having coached at some Big Ten and even played at some Big Ten schools.
Are you a playoff team? Offensively, there's no question. Do you believe you're a playoff team?
Yeah, I do. I think, that's what we're, I don't know if you're ever there yet, because I think what we're going to be a month from now is still, going to be much better than what we are now, just because I know our team is going to have that mindset. And so I think we're on the right track to becoming that. And, that will be determined here in the, at the end of the season, and what we look like and what the other teams around the country look like. But I have nothing but confidence in who we are and what we can still become.
How much of Michael Penix is coaching and how much is just innate? 72% completion percentage it doesn't even make sense. How much of it's just the kid's got it?
Yeah, well, he does have it. He does. There's no question. And I think a lot of it is just trying to really let him showcase what he can do and help, just keep teams, off balance. Because if we can get one step on a defender, he's going to find that matchup. He's going to make that throw. And so, you can't just be so simple to where, it becomes impossible to not be able to move the ball. But he's definitely got it. And, whether it's the individual throws or whether it's, being in the big moments and be able to just stay within himself and trust and believe he has it as well. It's a special time we're in right now with him leading the charge and as our quarterback.
Kalen DeBoer, 6-0 this year, 17-2 overall at Washington. Only Kirby Smart has won more games. Whenever they get the right coach, Jim Owen, Don James, Neuheisel, Chris Peterson, and Kalen, they win a lot. They win quickly. So much fun to watch. Number one in the country yards per play. Number one passing offense with a first-round quarterback. Kalen, congrats. I hope to see you soon, and thanks again.
Yeah, I really appreciate having me on. Thanks for making the trip up here, and glad you got to see a good one. So thanks, Colin.
You bet. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.